Rely on hospitals as a place to help us try to get better when we get sick.
But have you ever gotten worse after going to the one place you should always be able to count on? Doreen Gensler has some ways you can protect yourself.
What we do know is that just in hospitals, this happens about 700,000 times a year in the United States. But what's even more important than that number is to know that many of these infections can be prevented by following the best practices that we know can help deliver safe care.
This is what's known as Clostridium difficile. C. diff is a bacteria that can cause symptoms ranging from diarrhea to life-threatening inflammation of the colon. It can be caught anywhere, but people in long-term health care facilities and in hospitals are particularly vulnerable. The Dexter family knows this all too well.
The longer you stay in the hospital, I think we all know, is like, the more you're around sick people. People's immune systems are down. We like to think that it's a very clean place.
Judy Dexter went into the hospital for complications from COPD, a chronic lung disease. Shortly after, she developed C. diff. The Dexters have no doubt that she contracted it in the hospital. Overuse of antibiotics is one of the main reasons that people get C. diff.
We know that roughly a third of the time in outpatient practices and in hospitals, patients are getting antibiotics when they don't need them.
Since medical equipment is used on many patients and travels from room to room, Dr. Srinivasan told us keeping that equipment clean is critical. Also critical, something as basic as hand washing. As for patients, he advises them to take a proactive approach.
To ask your treating team, what's being done to keep me safe from getting an infection while I'm getting health care?
Once these infections take hold, they can be very tricky to treat. After massive doses of medicine and 3 fecal transplants, one of the ways C. diff is treated, Judy Dexter died from C. diff. Just 6 months after she went into the hospital for treatment of COPD. The Dexters have learned a lot since then. They want to share their knowledge so that others might be able to avoid going through what they did.
About it. You go to hospitals to get better. You go to take antibiotics to get better. And for the most part, they work, right? They work, but we know as a family that you cannot trust that. You have to look at hospitals' records. You have to question doctors.
That is Doreen Gensler reporting. 6:43 now on LEX 18 News at Sunrise.